What's going on, you guys? This is Tim Odell with OdellCompleteConcrete. What we're going to be doing today is pretty much a whole backyard remodel. What we got going on is we're going to be putting a gate about, I think about right here, going all the way across, a vinyl fence gate. What else we're going to be doing is pretty much this whole backyard is getting a little bit of a remodel. We're going to be putting a putting green in right here. We're going to be putting these cell shades that go across this top of this patio cover all the way to the back for those that little retaining wall is back there, the planter bed. Then also we're going to be extending the St. Augustine grass right over here all the way to where that fire pit is pretty much. We're also going to be putting a little bike path or walking path for the homeowner's son. He's about 2 years old. We're going to be pretty much making a little racetrack for him so he can start riding his little truck right here all around it in his backyard. Something a little fun for him. Then we're also going to be taking out all this little pea gravel, DG, putting in some nice soft sand so that when her son's running around back here, he doesn't hurt his feet. And then we're going to be just moving irrigation lines and putting another gate way on the other side of this house over here just to contain the kids and make sure that they're safe in the backyard. So that's the whole main idea of what we're going to be doing back here. Should be a fun little series for you guys to watch. Hope you guys enjoy, and let's get to work, Sam. Alright guys, now that I've kind of broken down what we're going to be doing on this job, I'm going to take you guys on a little quick walk through just so I can get you guys a little better of a better view of the whole job. Since I was recording on an iPhone, it kind of zooms in a little far, and the one I'm recording on right now is the GoPro, and I just think it looks better. But here's how the whole backyard patio looked before. The reason why they're doing a whole change of their backyard pretty much is because of their son. What they have back here right now, it's a little dangerous for a 1-year-old to be running around. The pressure treated wood gives you splinters. It's sharp. We're going to be sanding that down like I was saying. There's lots of rocks that can cut your feet. Plus, there's so many ants that are nesting in the gravel beds over there by the planters. And then the saga palms are super spiky. They can hurt you, especially kids running around back here. So we're just going to be making this more kid-friendly, more pretty much usable, and just better all around, in my opinion, for a family. So that's pretty much what we plan on accomplishing here, just making this whole backyard way more kid friendly, taking out all the dangerous stuff and making it more usable. One little quick thing, guys, I wanted to add to this video was I'm curious to know if you guys want to know like what the price of this job would cost and what it costs the homeowners and what it takes to get this type of job done. So if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, let's get about, let's say, 1,000 likes on this video, and I'll make a video of exactly how much I spent on this job, exactly how much I profited, and I'll even go over like pretty much all the receipts with you guys because I have all the receipts still. And for 2,000 likes, I'll even go over with you guys exactly how I bid this job out. So if that is something interesting to you guys, let it be known, guys. Comment in the comment section down below, and let's get over 1,000 likes and maybe even 2,000 likes, and I'll go over exactly how I bid the job out. So right now we're just dimming out all of the pavers that were here, put in here pretty badly, honestly, too. No base, just sand. It was pretty much like a sand. The pavers were just shifting everywhere. Nothing to really lock them in place. And then on top of that, the guy actually threw in a visqueen barrier or some trash bags underneath this DG. I'm sure it was for weed blocking, but just wasn't very good because it just caused a lot of problems for the homeowners. When it would rain, it would just kind of really get saturated everywhere in this area because the water could not drain. It would just puddle on top of the trash bags or whatever the guy used underneath this DG. And that was another thing. The DG that this guy used was kind of weird too, because he put DG in, and then it looked like he put like a 1/8 gravel on top of the DG, which the homeowners definitely didn't like because it was rocky and kind of rough on your feet when you would walk on it, especially for their little kid when he'd be running around. And then also, guys, all the succulents we were taking out of the planter boxes, we're actually saving all those, and the sago palms on top of that. We're saving all the little succulents and sago palms, and we're moving them off to the side right now and going to be replanting them later on after all the main work is done, making sure we save as much plants as we can for the homeowner. And then you guys can see right over there, those are the visqueen or trash bags I was talking about that the other guy put in. And I mean, they worked as a weed barrier, but we're going to be bringing in real weed barriers where it doesn't cause water saturation problems, and the water will be able to drain through the weed fabric. And also, guys, it was what we're doing to the sago palm right now is we're cutting off all the leaf blades so that once we do transplant it, and we're transplanting it to the parents' house of these homeowners. So that's a good little tip and trick, guys, to easily move those sago palms, is cut off all the blades or the leaves of those sago palms because they're super spiky and sharp, and it just makes it way easier to move this way. And those will grow back in time. So right here, guys, this is gonna be a little water fountain over in this corner, and we're just cutting off the edge so we can get a more rounded area for the artificial turf. And what I'm doing right here, guys, is actually there was so many curves in this walkway that I wanted to, honestly, I thought I was doing something smart, but it was not at all, guys. And I'm showing this right now, guys, because I want to show you not to cheap out, guys, on jobs. And you know, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to use masonite, and I was making my own 8-foot sections of binder board to form the concrete bike path with. Because binder board you get like at Home Depot or Lowe's has masonite in it, but they use a plastic wrap around it to make it even stronger. And I was just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna use masonite, you know, I'm not gonna bother spending the extra, you know, $100, $150 extra dollars on masonite when I can just make my own. So I was cutting all the masonite board up into 4 inches, 8 feet lengths, and I was like, I could just make this. Why would I want to buy it? But it doesn't work like that, guys. I'm gonna show you guys why too once we actually get to the part in this video when we do start forming with the masonite. But for now, what we're doing is we're prepping for the form work. We're gonna be using upside down paint to spray paint the whole bike path out at 3 feet, and or walking path, whatever you guys want to call it. So pretty much how we started this was we went 3 feet as we were marking the whole concrete bike path, so she gets exactly what she wants. You can actually see her right there. She's verifying that everything what we're marking is what she wants and where she wants it. And then we came back marking 3 feet on the line, and we just use our tape measure, spreading out at 3 feet, and then we would just go along it every so often, put a dot, and then we come back and do a whole line, or spray paint the whole line out. And so once we have everything marked out with all of our dots off the line, 3 feet marked every so often, we try to mark everything as fast as possible in one fell swoop so all the lines and curves look as natural as possible. So here we are marking the rest of it all out. So now that we have the whole concrete path marked out, we started digging it out. And going back to the story, guys, of using the masonite was just honestly a terrible idea. I thought I was being a genius, but I was dead wrong about that, guys. The problem with this masonite, when it's not like wrapped in that plastic, it's not very strong and durable. And once you start putting bends on it, it starts to really get crooked and wavy. And it takes a ton of stakes to pretty much get it to that nice curve you want. And I'm going to really emphasize that once we start really going along, digging all this out. or that's when I really started to notice that the masonite was just not going to work, and we had to scrap the idea and go back to Home Depot and buy the real stuff. I mean, there's a reason why they make this kind of stuff, guys, and you know, you live and learn. But maybe this might have worked actually if we doubled up the masonite, duct taped it all. Those bins might have actually turned out a little better, not so wavy. But I don't know, so let me know what you guys think. But we ended up just scrapping the idea, and we went and got ourselves the real bender board. It's worth the money, guys. I mean, it saved us so much time once we actually got the bender board and started putting that in. This job, we just ended up flying. Putting the stuff in just was a breeze, because just putting in a few of those masonites was taking us way too long. And then pretty much for the elevation, guys, what we did is we just followed the terrain and went down 4 inches. Also, here's some irrigation lines that we had to supply before we did start doing any of the concrete work, guys, because our bike path is going to be going right over this area, and we also are going to be putting in a St. Augustine around the bike path, so we wanted to make sure that we get our irrigation line in before we start forming everything and pouring, of course. So you can see us using the masonite right here, guys, and you know, at first it was going okay. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't getting too crooked until the area we are in right now. That's when we started to notice this is not gonna work. This is it's just getting too wavy, too crooked. We had to use a ton of stakes just to keep it as straight as possible with the nice curves that we wanted, but you can see how wavy it is right there. Just becoming a big headache pretty much. And these were the boards that we cut out. I mean, yeah, they were cut really nicely, 4 inches, but they're just not strong enough to hold up on their own. So we're taking them all out, guys. We went to Home Depot and we ended up getting that bender board. I mean, you could just see the difference of how nice this stuff transitions with the curves, and how much quicker and faster we started working with this board. So it's worth the money. Sometimes, you guys, you gotta learn the hard way, and you know, I don't mind learning the hard way, because I'll never forget that way. And then also, it's great to show people that are, you know, getting into this kind of stuff, so they know from my mistakes now not to do the same thing. But you can see it sped everything up by so much now that we have the nice bender board. And then you can see, guys, we're using a 3-foot cut board, putting it in between our bender board, and then we're putting the 4-foot Milwaukee level across, making sure that we're level, and we have 3 feet overall. And then here was a pretty straight part that we were able to just use a regular 2x4, just had to notch it out where that footing was for that planter bed. And we just kept using the 3-foot board going along, making sure that we got 3 feet for the bike path and that we're perfectly level on top. The only part that I didn't take the masonite out was pretty much at this area, because the bend was actually pretty nice. It didn't have like really bad curves on this part. So I thought, I think this actually looks pretty nice. No need to take this part out. But you can see, here's the whole picture of how the whole sidewalk is going to look, guys. You can see in the back there, we're still taking out some of the excess masonite that we had in, replacing that with the good bender board. And then we are using our 200-pound compactor, compacting all the soil. We also ended up hosing the ground, making sure it's nice and moist. And then we came in and put rebar in, just about 2 on each side all the way around, plus a long bar, or a 2.5-foot bar going I think every 8 feet on this sidewalk path. You can see all the bars that we put in. It's to definitely be something very fun for the homeowners and their son to be using, instead of going out into the front of the street, you know, where cars sometimes are flying by in the neighborhoods where it could potentially be dangerous. You know, if you can build a nice little bike path for your son or daughter in the backyard and keep them safe from harm's way, why not? Alright guys, and here's the poor day. So I actually forgot my rubber boots today, so I actually had to wrap my boots with trash bags, and I should have double wrapped them because pretty much right when I got on the concrete weighed them down too much and they pretty much instantly ripped. So that kind of sucked. But the good thing is the Red Wings are so nice that no concrete really got on my boots and no water penetrated either. And also you can see that I'm just in the concrete bike path, guys, because I didn't want to just rod from the outside because there's so many stakes sticking up. I would have to pretty much like every 1 foot to 2 feet I'd have to like jump the stakes, and I just thought it'd be so much easier if I just got inside the concrete, cut a little bit of a shorter board that wasn't exactly 3 feet, maybe like an inch off on each side, and I would just be able to. And also I did want Sam just pulling up pretty much all of the rebar behind me, so that we have no rebar sitting on the ground or on the dirt. And then after I did rod everything, we did go back and just double check and make sure that everything's rotted really nicely, adding concrete in any spots that where it would need it, which there was a couple areas where we did need a little extra concrete, and that's why you have this extra bucket of concrete that Leo, my concrete pumper, left us. And we're also just floating all the concrete, the whole concrete bike path, bringing up all that nice cream, showing us where any low spots are. You can feel it once you hand float. You can feel low spots, divots, anything that's not flat or flush. And I wish I could have gotten better shots, closer ups with GoPro and all that kind of stuff, but you know, this whole project was done just by me and Sam for the most part. So especially on concrete days, it's really hard to get those GoPro shots when we just don't have an extra guy working the camera. Had to be finishing the concrete the whole time because it was a nice bright sunny day and the concrete was just going off on us. And you can see I just broke out the fiberglass funny float on the little poles that we use. Instead of having to bend down, get on your knees, you can easily just stand up, keep your back straight, don't have to put so much pressure on yourself. And then we're also using the walking edger. It's about 12 inches in total, half-inch radius on the edge to give that nice strong edge so it doesn't chip or crack. And then you can also see Sam is going every about 8 feet to put a joint in the bike path as well. I think he used about a 3/4 inch joiner. Helps the crack control for the bike path. So if this sidewalk was to ever crack, hopefully they'll crack on those joints that we put in. And in total, I believe we did about 2 passes, 2 steel passes with the hand steel trowels. We mainly used a square and a round. A lot of this is done just by hand tools because can't really get a bowl float on this. And then you know, the most stuff we would use on the poles, there was just no need. Just a small area, just long. And then where it was really bright and sunny on, we started the broom, because that area was just going off a lot faster. You can see me and Sam are going opposite directions, and we're going to meet at the tree, trying to knock out all the sunny areas first, and Sam would come back to my side and help me broom my area. The final little section that we're going to be brooming. This is like, I believe, the only GoPro clip that we got, but I thought I would throw it in there since we did get, you know, one GoPro clip. And this is pretty much how we broom the whole surface of the concrete. Just nice and easy strokes. It was at the right perfect amount where you can get a nice medium broom finish on. And then this is pretty much it, guys. This is the final product of the sidewalk. Little bike path. Came out really nice. Homeowners are super happy about it. And then remember, guys, this is just part one. It's going to be about, I believe it's going to be about a 4-part series in total. About 4-part series. So stay tuned for the rest of the video, guys. If you want to see the artificial turf installation, the grass, the DG, the cell shades, and sadly I did not film putting the gates together, but you guys will be able to see how they look in the end. But stay tuned, guys, and you know, thank you guys for all liking, sharing, and subscribing the videos. I really appreciate that. I know my dad does, and have a good one, guys.